Hey y'all, welcome back. Like many film photographers, I love trying out a new film stock. You do a ton of research on them, looking up example images, maybe even watching a video on YouTube, try to figure out what it really looks like, and then finally decide to pull the trigger, buy a roll, and here comes the fun part, actually testing out the film. And that's specifically what this video is for me, trying out a new film stock, specifically Lomography's Lomochrome Color 92, aka Lomo 92. As you may or may not know, Lomography doesn't actually produce their own film emulsions. Instead, they take other companies' emulsions and chemically alter them to make them unique and different. I've used their Lomochrome purple and turquoise in the past, so I already knew that I would probably have a fun time with this, at least I was really hoping so. Lomography themselves say, it provides a burst of retro charm and classic analog character in any film shooting scenario. Discover fascinating blue hues, vibrant reds, and delicate pastel undertones with rich film grain for a hint of 90s nostalgia. And speaking of 90s nostalgia, I had a trip planned up to go to Atlanta, so I thought that would be the perfect opportunity to try out this film stock in a variety of different, circumstances. So right after I got off work, but before I hit the road, I grabbed my Canon 81 program and I loaded up a roll. Currently driving on my way to Atlanta right now. I'm gonna be seeing some family, and it's a pretty short trip. I'm basically just going up there and back. It's about a 6-hour drive for me, and so in order to make it a little bit more, I don't know, not that it's not fun to see my family, but a little bit more fun for myself, I decided to load up a roll of Lomochrome 92. It'll be my first time using this film. I bought it a couple weeks ago. I actually bought it when they announced the new Lomo 92 Sunkissed, I think it's what it's called. And that was sold out, so I just decided, I was like, oh, I never tried the original, so let me buy some. And basically, from what I hear, it gives a little bit of a nostalgia feeling. That's why they call it 92, which makes a lot of sense. But I've never used it. It's an ISO 400 film produced by Lomography. I'm hoping to get some cool photos. Probably not gonna really stop on the way up just because it is such a long drive. But tomorrow after I leave, I'm going to probably do some stops on the way down. I might, depending on what time of the day it is when I drive through Atlanta proper, I might stop and try to get some photos of the skyline. It is always really nice. Oh yeah, I brought my Canon AE1 program with my 35mm lens, f2.8. It's kind of become my go-to camera. It's something I really enjoy shooting with, and they say that the best camera is the one that makes you want to shoot photos, and that one makes me want to shoot photos. So I'm hoping these photos come out cool. I just realized photos. I said photos like 20 times in a row, but I'm hoping these photos come out Jeez Louise. I'm hoping these photos come out cool, and that I have a new film stock that I really like used. All right. After being on the road a few hours, I needed to stretch my legs, so I decided to take a stop at the Buc-ee's. Now, I've talked about this place in the past, so I won't go into too many details, but I do like it here, and I use it as the perfect opportunity just to snap some pics. Well. So now we see what this film can do. It is definitely a vibe. The blues are very prevalent, but I don't see the vibrant reds that were promised. But honestly, I don't really mind that. I think everything works really well together. It's just an interesting note. After Buc-ee's, my next stop was High Falls State Park. This is a really wonderful little state park that I don't think gets a lot of love. It's got waterfalls. By this point, it was getting a little bit later, so the sky was getting a little darker and hazy, and I think that led to why these photos are not really my favorites.
I do like this one though. It is really helped by the river creating that cool leading path to the middle of the photo. And although the colors are muted, I think that adds to the sereneness of the park.
So, this is the exact location that me and Savannah got engaged. I'm at High Falls in Georgia. I kind of forgot that this was on the way up, and it was a perfect time to come take some photos. So it's one of my favorite places in the world, right here.
And right outside of the park was this really cool ice machine that immediately caught my eye. The picture is definitely underexposed, but it's still one of my favorites. Once again, the so-called vibrant red are nowhere to be found here, but now I know what to expect. Leaving High Falls, it quickly became dark, so I decided to stop through downtown Atlanta to see what this film would do with a skyline. And I used to live in downtown, so driving through this area is always super nostalgic for me. I thought it was a perfect pair. This bridge is actually a pretty well-known spot to get that sort of perfect skyline view of Atlanta, and it was very busy. I think there was even like a photo video shoot happening. Pretty cool. So I didn't have my tripod and I was using the bridge barricade as a support, but these came out way better than I expected. I actually really like the night tones a lot. Might be leaning to take this film out to do some night photography soon. I had one more stop in the city to make, and that was the Varsity. And although it was later and I knew I wouldn't be able to get any food, this place is a personal favorite of mine, and I knew they would have their really cool neon sign still lit up. Once again, the tones on this film stock at night are killer. I think people need to know that it has this secret identity. And after leaving the Varsity, I finally headed to my sister's house to get some rest for the night.
So, I just woke up, took a shower. I'm at my sister's house. I got here pretty late last night and hung out with my sister and her husband, had some of their really wonderful Caesar salad, talked about random stuff, you know, normal things. I haven't seen her in a little bit. There's a cat yelling outside the door right now. I wonder if they'll come in if I go say hey. It turned out no. Today, going over to my grandmother's house to see her, and then I will be hitting the road home afterwards. Got a few stops in mind that I'm gonna hopefully make along the way home to make the drive a little less long. It's like 6 hours from up here to Gainesville, so we'll see how the day goes.
All right, so I am about to leave my sister's house. I'm heading to my grandmother's house. It's about an hour drive. I'm leaving a little bit earlier than my sister, so if in case I see anything on the road, hoping for an abandoned gas station, but we'll see. Man, that was a bad finger cross. There we cross my fingers. Anyways, we'll see if we find anything. If not, then yeah.
I've been coming to this area for literally all my life to see family, and I've never once walked around the downtown to take photos, so I needed to change that on this one. And now we're back to the colors I really like on this film. It really needs a lot of daylight to produce those colors and tones that I like, or so it seems. Was really hoping this one would have come out, but I underexposed it a good bit, unfortunately. This is more what I was hoping for. I'm really enjoying the blue skies this film gives, and the building itself looks really great too.
So I'm in downtown Fayetteville right now. It's not a big downtown. It's a pretty big city, but the historic downtown is quite small. But this is the historic courthouse, I think, that I'm walking around. But yeah, it's something I've always wanted to come photograph, so I figured since I was going to be seeing some family, I would just do it real quick before I stop to see them.
I then headed to my family's house and we had a really great visit. I mean, this was the main reason I drove all the way up here. After that, I hit the road back down south with a little bit of time to spare so I could make a couple more stops and finish putting this film through its paces. The first one being the small town of Griffin, Georgia. This church caught my eye, so I pulled over to photograph it and that little surrounding downtown area. This photo rules, I think. It almost feels like a geometric abstraction of a church, and I really like that. With the addition of those tree leaves in the upper left corner, I think it all comes together very nicely. I then left the downtown to head to a nearby graveyard because I had heard some rumors that Doc Holliday was buried here. But it seems that even the sign doesn't really know if this is Doc Holliday's grave. Either way, this was a pretty cool stop. Got back on the road and drove a few more hours until I remembered there was something coming up that I had passed thousands of times and never stopped to look at, so this was the chance.
I probably passed by this thing 1,000 times on my way up the interstate, which is right there. And never stopped. So I figured, why not today? Let's go to the fucking giant peanut. Maybe the world's biggest, probably at least Georgia's biggest peanut. Let's see. I don't want to step in ants. Georgia, first in peanuts.
A favorite from the trip. It almost looks as if this is a heavenly message sent here to promote peanuts. And after seeing that giant legume, I was back on the road with one last stop I wanted to make. It was another thing I had seen countless and countless times driving on this portion of the interstate, but this time instead of a giant peanut, it was a really cool looking factory. And that was that. My trip up to Atlanta and testing this film stock was done. You know, I'm going to be honest with you guys, when I first got the scans back of this film, I was kind of disappointed. I thought, wow, I should have just brought a film stock that I knew could deliver the results I wanted instead of trying something new and experimental. Now that some time has passed and I've come back to these photos, I actually really like a lot of them. And I can appreciate them for what they are. Will this be a new personal favorite film stock? No. But will I buy another roll? Absolutely. Especially to try shooting some nighttime photography with it. And as always, thank you so much for watching this video, supporting my photography adventures, supporting everything I do. Let me know in the comments below if you tried out this film and if you have any tips or tricks of ways I could maybe improve shooting it. And don't forget, if you like this video, subscribe to the channel. There's a bunch of videos that you could watch, and I'm posting new ones super regularly. But, you know, as always, I'll see y'all next time.